I haven't the slightest idea where I am, what day it is. I think I forgot my middle name, maybe my birth date. I'm in Birmingham, well, north of Birmingham, about 20 minutes. I'm going south of Birmingham on 280. A buddy of mine there, William, has a big place that he takes care of. It's got all kinds of cars and antiques and mini bikes and motorcycles. It's a lot of stuff. It's going to be a great video today. I've bought all kinds of stuff there before, and if there's a new supply of stuff, I might be buying. I'm going to buy stuff today. Whoa. Lama sporting those low gas prices. Now I am on 280 and I'm going southeast, but there's a place here just a couple of minutes before my destination today, and I stopped here one time before to look at it. I don't think I looked at it this close, but there's some really interesting stuff sitting here. I'm not a huge Porsche guy, but there was, before the 911, one called a 912. And that's what this one is. It, smaller engine, not very much horsepower, but the same shape as the 911. You could do one up just like it. And the 912 has actually gone way up in value recently. Obviously the guy's a Fahrvergnügen guy. He has lots of bug stuff. But this is maybe 4 minutes north of where we're going today. That car right there, the car right here would be really worth doing, but their problem is often right up in this area. That area where basically, let's say the rear half of the frame. And it can look really fine on top, but when you get down in there, it can have some major issues. Yeah, you see the floors are just totally gone. This might be one of those cars that's very deceiving. It looks like it's fantastic, but also see how the door is already not closing properly. Pretty sweet car though, right? I'd still own that. It would probably signal my financial demise, but I'd own it. Let's get back to where we were going. By the way, there is no contact information there at all at that address. But I'll give you the exact street address of where we're going here in a minute. And just keep in mind, it's about 4 miles from that, a bit north of it. Well, we made it. Just says the lot out front. You can already see there's a lot of cool stuff here. Ram Charger, MG, Chevy with a flatbed, S10, Dodge, 60 Chevy. There's more stuff out here. Yeah, it takes a couple minutes to walk through here, but we will do it. And that's also the car I said in the last video. He had a car here that I had never even heard the brand. That's it. We'll learn all about that in just a minute. Well, we got the hello, how you doings out of the way. So let's go ahead and cruise up the side here. Little Dodge on the end. 4-door. Look at the amount of chrome and stainless. Just take a moment to really take that. Look around the windshield and the way the mirrors are made. And that cladding coming off the back of the fender. And it suspiciously looks like maybe a 57 Chevy on that fin. But look at all this, just in that one spot, all the trim. Custom Royal with cheese. That's bad, dude. Kind of taking the Cadillac V sort of vibe there. Then right beside it, the 58 Nomad. Why don't you just go ahead and take a moment and tell me the last time you saw one of these? This one has been here for a while. He said sales have been like really slow. But this one, he said the floors were bad in it, but see the box right there? Those are the new floors. And the floors are like totally gone. It's just, they're gone. But a 58 Nomad. That's a rare dude right there. And I love these 49 to 54 Chevys. Even the 4-doors, man, I'd take one of those. Look at the bumper on it. And your grandma's seat cover. Grandma been busy. That was not here, that little gray wagon thing. Is that a Crosley maybe? Let's go look at that. Yeah, you see over there in the distance the now you kind of have to watch. First of all, I will get to it later, but see those right there? There's a company called Shea that built those, but I don't know if I've ever seen a 4-door drop top cabriolet. How the Taurus? Maybe this is some kind of a Russian thing or something. 15M. Now this is crazy. Silicaca Hospital parking. That's a local hospital. Somebody drove this to work. I've never seen one of those in my life. And keep in mind there are 200 cars here. What a cool freaking wagon. Flattened up. Oh, that is... I have no idea what it is, but it's... Look at the thermometer on the window. Oh. Little turn signal. I have no idea what that is, but I know it's cool. Some of you guys have some idea what it is. Look at that. I think it says Taurus. Yeah, I gotta move on, but boy, that's a slick little ride there. It doesn't look to me like those wheels are big enough to be an actual A. Yeah, this whole thing's been really cleaned up. Well, I think it is a real car. I don't think it's a Ford though. There's more tires and wheels there. Although that looks very Ford. It's... What in the heck is this? I'll ask him about it and get you guys the answer. Does it give you guys any clues? Man, I don't know what that is. Little Fiat. Probably know a lot of people who have had those little things. Very cute cars, but not necessarily great cars. Yeah, what did he call this? Florida tag, which, check it out, horseless carriage. That's pretty cool. Chandler, that's what it is. 28 Chandler, I believe. It's the only one I've ever seen. It's been here for sale for a while. Look at the fitment they used to have on these. See at the top of the door, just air. And that's your wiper. Boy, this smells like 28 as well. Door closes perfectly. Still brass stuff on it, or at least brass plated. Then again, it's pretty early if it has wood spokes on it. I believe it's a 28, but I'm not entirely sure. Landbard 76 Lincoln, Mark IV. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. La, 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 la. Rust down low, bubbling out. Shaved door handles, which I'm not sure I would have done that. Paint up here is already starting to cook. Typical Southern thing. Twin aerials. Custom striping, I mean. This is a 60. If it would have been a 59, it would have been like the sideways cat eye taillights, and the 60 has the taillights like that. The higher trim version, 6 taillights. The lower trim version, 2 on each side. You don't see 59s and 60s much, and when you do, they honestly tend to have quite a bit of rust. Look at that steering wheel. Under dash AC. Got the dog dishes on there. 76 or 77. Malibu. Little Mopar. I always like those rims. Now, some of you may be saying, that body's not perfect. It needs this, it needs that. Well, the one thing I've noticed at this place is that these prices on these vehicles are actually not insane. A lot of places you go, they're like, oh yeah, well it's so, and I mean, see, you're dealing with stuff like this. That's a full-blown hole there in it. But if you want to take on a project and turn it into something cool, flatbed truck. Little baby kind of car that I can't fit in at all under any conditions. Ram Charger. These things kind of went up in value not long ago. 4-wheel drive. Now, he told me to just go ahead and wander around, so that's why I'm checking out all the cars so closely. That one looks surprisingly good down low. Got a couple little places where it's bubbling up here, but the bottom of the quarters and everything is pretty solid, really. I will give you the information on how to get in touch with these guys before I leave. Now we're getting into the kind of crazy row here. Just typical Ford truck. Wait, no. Extended cab, 3/4 ton? Okay. Little aftermarket gauges up on top of the dash. That door closes great. This is kind of the wild card of the entire bunch. William and I talked about this before. It's called a Singer, and he thought maybe the Singer was the same as the sewing machine company. I did more research. It's not. But here's the crazy part. See how you don't notice any rust? Because the body's aluminum. Yeah. I mean, look at this. There's some steel components in there, like the substructure for maybe strength. But those are all original pieces. It's just tin cans, basically. Has Smith's gauges in it, which would be kind of generally an English thing. It looks like an MGTD kind of thing, but look at the logo. Cool little car. Wooden dash. That might have been a cool car back in the day. Now, the Grand Prix I'm not really into, but this one is where it gets weird. It's a Corvette on the back with a Chevy truck airbrushed onto it. And as we come around, it's still a Corvette in here. Typical Corvette stuff. Then this is where it gets a little freaky out here. I don't know how to explain this or sanction, or I don't know if I can get behind this. The thing is, he priced it to me pretty cheap, and I figure there's still a Corvette in there from the firewall back. Who knows? Dodge truck, which I don't mind at all, short box. 64 Chevy around here that, well, before we get to that. See, there's stuff in here that if you're a visionary, man, if you can't imagine some of these being cool, I don't know what to tell you. That interior's so wild. Ferd McFerdson. 64 two-door post. Oh, I like this one. Seats all gone like they all were. Very base car, just very, very base car. And remember what I said about the top of the line trim models had 6 taillights on them? That's an example of the 4 taillight variety. We'll go over there looking at that stuff here in a second, but I saw that this building is open. It's either got a bazillion wasps in it or something. I'm not going in too far. Oh, I'm not going any farther than that. Yeah, that's where a roof would cave in and they'd find me several years from now. Well, what's left? Not even a carcass, really. The sun-bleached bones of a traveler, an explorer. Now, I know you're saying, Sean, what's beside that rat rod looking truck? Well, all in good time. This one's kind of made out of homemade stuff, but can a brother get a hell yeah? That is what's under there. And right to the side of it, they still have this little scooter thing from the last time I was here. That is it's an Indian scooter. This is obviously one of the little cars that's VW powered. Bajaj Cherak or something like that. You can actually find these online. It's BAJAJ. That might be pronounced Bahaha, or no? Oh, you're on your own. This is a rare little critter, but I'm not sure if the Indian scooters have much value or brake still works. There's the Kickstarter. Motor still turns. All right. Metal components for the body. Taillight broken. Rust down low on the body. If that was really cheap, who knows? Like I said, this is it's kind of a different thing when it's not Italian. Little bitty baby Yamaha scooter over here. These things, if you get them running, can actually be totally street drivable, good little vehicles. But if you look right down there, carburetor's been open for a while. See if this thing flips. Motor rotates. All right, little Yamaha. I'm interested in the Yamaha and the Bajaj, maybe? Cherak or Shatak. Some people have entirely too much time on their hands. Look at that, they're actually pedals. A little pull start lawnmower engine. See if that rotates. Yeah. See, in Florida, all this stuff would have been locked up. Yeah, if you'll notice down on the bottom of that SS396, it's got some issues, but a true SS396, 66 Chevelle. See if we got anything. There's a shower in there. Microwave cookbook. Scale over in the corner. Looks like the Kool-Aid man went through that wall. Big old wasp just buzzed my head, so I'm going to be over here. Turbo 350. I'm going to go over there in a second, but under this roof right here, I've never been inside that house, but under this roof, there's some pretty cool stuff. There's a economy yard tractor, which I tried to buy from these guys last time, and that's the only thing that when I got a price on it, it was pretty high. Yeah, I'll get in there. The economy tractor Jim Dandy is what it's called. Get you a better look. Random piano placement. And some transmissions down there. An AMC Spirit, but it's like the hot rod version of it, if that makes any sense. Lawn Boy. Now see, I like this. I wanted to get that from him, but for some reason he really likes that a lot, and I understand. It's a cool little piece. Maybe I can see if he'll hook me up with it this time. This is the Spirit AMX. That's what it is. I think it may have like a clutch transmission. Let me get some light here. Yeah. Factory 4-speed. Bucket seats. You know anybody who's into AMCs? Now when we get over here, got a couple of bikes. That right there, by the look of the tank, I'm trying to, maybe a Scrambler? Does that sound about right? And then just over there, a 305 Yamaha. One thing you never want to do is assume that these things are worth a lot of money, just as I noted something over here that I really... Did you notice? See that engine? Anything weird going on up here? Three deuces? With a 4-speed? Alright, I'm intrigued. Some of you guys have got to know what that is. 3 deuces on a... Not a Chevy. Is it going to be one of the others? Buick Olds Pontiac? I'm not sure. Always scan the perimeter. Another little tractor right there. That, an old back half of a frame. That tree has grown all the way through that. That tree is, it's about probably 15 inches across. How long has that thing been sitting there? Jeez. Old washing machine. Bubblegum machines, those are the newer ones. They're plastic, not really, not a whole lot of value there. All right, I want to know what the heck that is. GM. It's going to be Buick, Olds, or Pontiac. And I think Buick or Olds did this thing where the plugs are on top, but I'm not sure if Pontiac did or not. Road draft tube coming right down there, which means it's older, it's 60s. Still has the little manual transmission on it. Okay, I'm going to ask William about that. How have I never seen that? I've never laid eyes on that in my life. Another GM transmission. See, look at all the controls on here. This thing is not just a little yard mower. I mean, it's got hydraulics and all kinds of stuff back there. That's crazy. Look at all that. I'd love to have that, but I can't give the kind of money he wants. Also, the wheel's not right. It's cool, but I love the offset ones, like the old Farmall had one. I think a lot of them had them. Little tea bucket. Another thing, guys, if you see one of these and you're thinking, wow, that's a tea bucket, these are really cheap. They're just
even if it's a real steel body, it's just, and this one's a fiberglass one, they're just not much money. They're just not. I mean, if that was $1,000, that's probably maybe right, maybe a little too much. It's Volkswagen powered, which makes it a little stranger. So when you look at one of these, don't just think, wow, it's an old car, because this is not really an old car. It's just an old fiberglass body to look like an old car. Safe. One Adam 12 lights. Falcon, 2-door. Alice Chalmers garden tractor. Well, it looks like they have some kind of old Ford or Ferguson or. But up inside this building is where I actually got a go-kart frame and a couple mini bike frames last time here. I left a couple because they were newer. The other one says Warrior on it over on the side. Yeah, that one was just a little too new. 57 Chevy hood, side chrome. Pause for a moment, brother like me gotta go pee. That's a pretty cool truck. I just peed on the tire. 841 Powermaster. Maybe that's a little newer, maybe it's still in the Jubilee series. It's gonna be in the 60s maybe? Maybe in the 50s still, but I'm guessing the 60s. Oh, I like that one. Cool little tractor. Oh, notice anything about that? It's a diesel. I'm damned. Huh. 64 Super Sport Chevy hubcaps. Big block Chevy. Even stuff like floor jacks. It's all just sitting around in here. If it works, I'll offer him a few bucks for it. Yeah, these things, I don't really have much interest in these because they're not old and probably Chinese origin, so just give practically nothing for it. You'll be okay, but do not invest a lot of money in it. There's another side to this building. See, like I told you, when I come here, I don't just look out in the front and say, do you have anything? No, and then drive off. I trust but verify. Let's look for any cool old stuff in here. This was a working garage that did all kinds of stuff on a day-to-day basis. So there's a lot of stuff that's just the old parts that came off cars. But other stuff, it's just kind of sitting in the middle of it. He said business has been a little slow. I generally, when somebody says that, I think, well, maybe that means I could get a better deal. Boy, that's a hoss, isn't it? Look at that thing. Big piece of equipment that thing came out of. Wow. I feel kind of like I'm in a haunted house. It'd be weird if the Blair Witch Project girl came out of the woods right there and she had like, she was crying heavily and had like mucus dripping out of her nose. Blech. Couple engines back there. There's another big block. The blue one there. Bigamous Blockamus. I'm of that generation that whenever you see a big block under the hood of a car, as you walk by, you have to go, big block. Before the LS, man, the big block was a pretty cool thing to have. Inside here, they had a really cool GTO ragtop, like 65. That's a serious setup. It's a house right there. You gotta look very closely because in the midst of all this stuff that looks like it's nothing, there's gonna be something stuck in there. Now this, coming around the corner, you guys are gonna go, what? Let's get past this Yamaha Venture. See down in there? A dragster. Like I said, somebody thought they were on American Chopper there. Went ahead and built that. What's that thing? Looks kind of like a Cushman. See, there's a Cushman right there, but what is... Oh, that is. Must be a newer... Well, it says Cushman on it. That doesn't mean anything. If it is, it's not that old because that's a plastic nut there. It just doesn't look like it would be a real Cushman. This thing's been sitting in here for a minute. They gave me a real high price on it. Well, it probably was not high price at the time, but they've, like everything since like 01, the values have just plummeted on pretty much everything because they had gone crazy. Just in case you need a nitrous bottle. Do you think there's any pressure in that? There's nitrous in it. For those of you who are thinking bad thoughts, two types of nitrous oxide. There's pharmaceutical grade, which is what the dentist has. And then there's industrial grade, which is what they sell you to put in your car. The industrial grade has a couple parts per million of sulfur dioxide that when it is injected will make you very nauseated. Well, racing started. You clock it any way you want. Check the high shelves too. And check stuff like that. Belts. Casey Mansman. Oh, look at this big web I got flying on. Transmission cooler, so it was probably a Power Glide. Shifter indicates that too. See the 1, 2. And the solenoid right behind it there automatically changes first to second. That little thing just pushes out automatically at a preset RPM. A couple of bikes here, older Harley and a Boulevard over there, which actually is a pretty good bike. I've had one of those, I think, at least one. Wheelie bars. Anything in here you guys can't live without yet? Fans. I have one of those lights like back there. Speed Pro pistons, I recognize that logo. Now that is an intercooler. I wonder why that's there. Well, it may also, they may have used it in some application on the radiator. Is that a Road King? Remember the group REO Speedwagon? An REO Speedwagon was a fire truck made by Random E. Olds, the guy behind Oldsmobile. And in the earlier days, the company before Oldsmobile was known as REO, his initials. And the Speedwagon was a fire truck made by REO. This, I believe, is an REO. Let's see what we got here. Yep. Pretty cool. That's what that's all about. By the way, if you've made it this far, the entire property is for sale. And when I say the entire property, I mean the buildings, the acreage, everything on it. So, if that sounds interesting to you. It was at a higher price about a year ago. And now he said it's come down substantially. He's just getting a little older. He's just kind of past it. Well, I bet this thing, if it was cleaned up, that would look freaking sweet in there. Tranny tunnel out of it. Looks like it just bolts in, though. Those are cool, I always thought. You notice that? On the Bel Airs, you open the door, and that opens up to this piece right here. And now watch when I close it. See how it closes? They were just showing off in 57, people. Ram 2500. Looks like it's been sitting a minute. Might get a deal on that. Maybe this is why it's been sitting, because there's a whole lot of Ram engine parts and turbo over there. Ford engine under that. This is powered by Ford on the valve covers. It's a 4-barrel, so 289 or 302 probably. I'm not looking at a whole bunch of the, you know, like that Lexus there. Some of you may be into that. The car's here in case you want it. But the Chevy sold. Well, I wonder if that means it was sold and then they bought it. They are the people who bought it. Got a lot of trim pieces missing. Windshield beaten. Oh, that sucks on this car. Look at that pillar. Ooh, it's kind of shoved inward too. Yeah, that sucks. 2500 with a work bed. Old Packard. There's that Packard grill, the little, it kind of looks like a cemetery stone at the top of the grill. This was up in the front. AMC Matador, for those of you who are wondering what this abomination really is. But you're not going to pull it beside another one at the stoplight, are you? Mercury. Ooh, I just walked through something that, oh, various critters growing on my leg. Chevy long bed. I'm going to say 75 to 77, you think? Maybe 8? 3/4 ton Chevy. $800 cash. Sticker says, "We the problem." All right. That is mostly newer stuff, but I wouldn't be your cordial host if I didn't at least look. Because this is still the land that belongs to those guys in the front. Boy, that's about a hoss. Kodiak. That thing's a beast. School bus. The Chevy truck there. Square headlight. Was it going to be 80? I know the grills are slightly different on all of them. Somebody hooked me up. 81 to 87, somewhere in there. The rest over there, a lot of crash stuff. That's about it. There you go. Studebaker. That's right in that era when it was like Nash, Rambler, Studebaker. I think they were all owned by one parent company. I see a tractor back in there, but probably take a tractor to get to it. Let's go hang out with William for a minute. Boy, that looks right out of a movie, doesn't it? Long bed, 3/4 ton. Let's look at this $800 truck. No key. Well, no battery. Huh. Brake pedal good? Yeah, it's okay. Who wouldn't give $800 for a truck that starts? Put a battery in it. 4x4 as well. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't have to look good at all. It's a work truck, man. Back. All right, I'm gonna ask him about that one. Got a V8 in it. 800. Because if it could drive over to the trailer, I already have one, you see. Hell, I could pull the trailer right here. Didn't the transmissions go out on those? Well, I'm gonna ask. I got a web on my leg, setting up a whole family of critters. Aluminum slots on the Chevy. Oh, before we go back, one last little thing here. I looked at this a while back and I thought it was maybe some big crazy engine, but it's not. It's just either a stock engine with a tunnel ram and 2.4s or something very close. This is where I bought, I think, like 4 of my motorcycles last time. We're about to get a glimpse into how dumb I am, because I'm going to ask about that 3-wheeler and that little scooter. Maybe not the scooter, the little Yamaha scooter. Let's go up here and see what he says. Yeah, Tri-5 front end, 5 and 6. Fiberglass, obviously. Boy, there's some early stuff over there. Way beyond anything I'd ever had, but it's just cool to look at. All this equipment was built back in the day, so if you fell off, you're dead. Sierra 1500. There's the Dodge, the dually on the way in. Would a dually from this era be diesel or a 440, I think? Adventurer 300. One of the cooler hoods. Damn it, I'm going up there now. I just walked up to this for the heck of it, and then I realized that there's some tomfoolery going on in here. There's a fan belt on there, and God help me, I don't hate it. What's it, like an 04 CRV? Maybe a little earlier, 02. Frequent stops, US mail. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The pedals down there. They done JDM'd it. Put your big bag right there. I do not mind this at all. Well, I'm officially out on the road again. That was a nice little cruise through there. I didn't buy anything, but it dawned on me why I didn't. Because I have bought pretty much everything he owned. Look at that over on the side of the road. That's Alabama right there. Just car after car after car. The Tallapoosa River? Did I just say something dirty?